Well, welcome. This is hopefully the first of many videos to chronicle some of the things in my life that go on. It's March 25th here in Red River Valley, North Dakota, and middle of the COVID-19 crisis, and we got a little time on our hands, so we're gonna go look at some projects and try to see if there's anything that we can put on the old YouTube that some people might find interesting. So stay tuned. Got some treats in the shed here that I want to start working on. We got to move some stuff out here first. Got the dump truck. Gotta get that out of here so we can move some things around. So bear with me here. A little chilly this morning. We got air pressure. We do okay. Here we go. Well, the first project I have that I want to start kind of putting videos out there for, or something I think there's a lot of people will find interesting. It's a 1979 Peterbilt 352 single bunk with Cummins in it, 13 speed. I picked it up last year. Last fall, actually. Kind of an interesting story. I was looking at another one and I kind of made a deal on it, and mechanic had it, and we went to crank it up and the block was cracked. So said no on that one, and they told me that they knew about this other one sitting over at a salvage yard. And I went over to look at it, and it's actually a really nice truck. The really nice interior on it. I mean, it's super dirty and everything, but the cab is really nice. There's not a lot of oxidation on it at all. It's 13 speed with Cummins, which makes me happy. So I made a deal on the truck and I brought it home, and my plan was to try to get it cranked up right away when I got it home, but when I first dug into it, I noticed that the starter was unhooked for some reason. It had been, the story was that it had been sold on a estate sale, and that this guy bought the whole estate basically, and he bought this truck with it. Didn't know much about it. The truck appeared to have been sitting in the shed for about 15-20 years and hadn't been moved. It's got real nice tires on the back that are completely shot because they're all dry rotted. So but at some point the starter was unbolted, or the leads to the starter were unhooked, which made me wonder a little bit. So I brought it home and put some batteries to it, and nothing worked. Hooked everything up, nothing really worked real well. So I was going to try to pull start it, and I went to go pull starting it, and after I got all the brakes broken loose and everything like that, and everything would spin, but it wouldn't spin the motor over. It was almost like the clutch wasn't engaging. So I kind of sat the whole winter thinking that there's something wrong with the clutch. And I really started thinking about it here this spring. All the air lines on it were shot. I put air to it with the air compressor and everything like that, and the thing leaks more than, I can't even think of anything funny to say right now, but it leaks real bad with air. And I noticed that the solenoids, or whatever they're called, that put the change the range in the transmission from high and low and into overdrive, all those lines are shot. So what I'm kind of wondering is if this thing might be between ranges right now, and maybe that's why it's not spinning the spinning through the input shaft out to spin the motor over when we're trying to pull start it. So I'm going to pull it into the shed here, or into the shop here today, and we're going to try to see if we can make sure the transmission's put into range. And maybe we'll get to pull starting it, and maybe I'll get off my butt and actually run into town and get a starter for it that I know is good. I don't know. We'll find out. So, more to come. Well, most useful tool on a farm is a skid steer. Comfortably numb there. Drive, set this thing on drive. We'll set you up over here. We'll try to get out of the shed here. So like I said, end of March, Red River Valley, North Dakota, and we're right, I think we're after, we just finished second winter, just entered full spring, we're well into mud season, and we're just about into, well, the first mud season, then we're just about into flood season, and obviously right after flood season comes second mud season. And I think then we get about 2 weeks of summer, and then we're right back into about 3 weeks of fall, and then we're right back into winter again. So yeah, so we got our seasons well planned out in front of us. We got trying to move some stuff around here. Hopefully don't run into the pickup back there, so we can get this truck out of here. So we will take our bucket off here. Notice the little red tabs. Unlock the bucket. Grab the pallet forks. And hit our little lock buttons and lock our pallet forks down. I'll put you back up on the windshield here. Smoothest way to move the lawnmower around, but it's quicker than trying to jump start it. For those of you that don't know, I have a full-time job, which I don't really want to talk about right now. But I have a side business also where I do some landscaping and dirt work and snow removal and things of that nature. For a little small town that I live around, that I grew up in. Let's get under that axle here. Trouble. Better go get some chains. Okay, so we're in the skid steer. Got the pallet forks on here. see a little better. Shut the windshield wiper off. I got the pallet chained around the pallet forks chained around the tool hooks in the front of the Pete here. I want to stay close enough because I want to. It's nice to be able to get the pallet forks underneath the front axle and get a little weight off. It's kind of soft ground inside here, inside the shed. So we're going to start pulling this thing into the shop. So here we go. Not going to be the best here for a minute, but it should break off. Jump out, make sure I'm clear on both sides here. Okay, here we go. Here's where it's going to get a little interesting. Got a little bit of a hill here. And I don't want this thing to come racing after me here. When there's only one guy and a skid steer and a Peterbilt 352, it makes it a little difficult to get it moved around the yard. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, well, we got it in the shop finally. Sorry about the camera work. I'm kind of learning on this one. In here next to my dad's 65 Corvair. Don't ask me why he likes Corvairs, but he likes Corvairs. I'll let the lights here warm up. We still got some old sodium lights in this shop, so let those lights warm up and we'll come in and I'll show you, give you an overview of the truck. But right now we got to get out and we got to put the other stuff away here. So jump in and walk out to the old Sterling. It's not really a Sterling, it's actually a Ford, but it's the one year that Fords made Sterlings. And try getting parts for it sometime. You gotta go and find a 99 Sterling with a serial number to try to be able to find parts for it, because Ford doesn't know it exists and Sterling doesn't know it exists. So throw this back in the shed. be a requirement for everybody in their life to at least have a CDL and to have had to have backed up a truck of some sort, whether it's a straight truck or a semi or whatever, at some point in their life. Just for the utter fact that people need to learn to use their mirrors. I stick my tongue out a lot when I'm concentrating. You're probably going to see that a lot. Okay, we're done. Okay. Well, that's a wrap for episode number 1. Appreciate watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Do me a favor, I'm trying to make this YouTube thing a thing, so go ahead and hit subscribe down at the bottom there, and I'd love to see you in the next one. We'll hopefully see if we can get this thing fired up coming up, and I'll give you a little more history on it and a few more stories and everything like that, and we can try to keep this going down the road. So hit subscribe, like if you like what you see, tell your friends, share it around, everything like that. All a little bit helps. So thanks.